Hi everyone, welcome to What's Brewing. I'm Mark. In today's episode, we're sitting down with President and CEO of Lafayette Travel, Ben Berthelot, for part 2 of his interview. But before we get into it, let's roll that beautiful B-roll. Ben, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
In case anybody didn't see the first one, go ahead and tell everybody at home who you are.
Ben Berthelot, President and CEO, Lafayette Convention and Visitors Commission.
That title has a lot in it, and I love it. And the thing I have to ask questions on is, what does the Visitors Commission do for the city?
It's a good question, and we always are constantly trying to strive to make sure people understand what we do, because the majority of the money that we spend is out of market trying to entice people to come here. But we were formed in 1974 as the marketing arm for Lafayette Parish to drive economic value by bringing in visitors, meetings, and sports and conventions to our area. And we're funded with a hotel occupancy tax. So if you stay in a hotel in Lafayette Parish, you're going to pay local taxes, you're going to pay state taxes, and you'll pay an additional 4% occupancy tax that funds the work that we do to try to get people to come here and stay in those hotels and eat at our restaurants.
Awesome, that's amazing. So over the years, what are some of the conventions that you're able to bring in, or some of the different programs or even festivals? Because we're in Louisiana, we love our festivals. What are some of the different aspects of those things that you're able to bring into the community through this organization?
Well, we're obviously blessed. We have a lot of festivals. Of course, the big ones, Festival Acadian and Creole, Festival International, Mardi Gras. That's what I would call the big three we've had for a long, long time. But every year something else gets added, whether that be the Boudin Festival and Scott Broussard's working on a new festival, the Boudin Cook-Off downtown. So you can never have too many festivals. So we're fortunate in that festivals are always a great time to get people here for the first time. And we know that if we get people here for the first time, that we have them hooked and they'll come back. So on the leisure side, that's one of the things that we do, not just for festivals, but weekends, getaways and staycations and all those things. On the convention side, we're very fortunate obviously to have a convention center at the Cajun Dome. We've had some big ones over the years. We hosted the National Golden Gloves, which is the second highest amateur boxing event in the world. Of course, yeah, and we've had some big boxing events over the years. Sugarbird Boxing in Youngsville. LAGCO, of course, is a big one that's been around for a long, long time. They left for a year in New Orleans, and we're happy to get them back this fall. So a lot of different conventions. We've been fortunate to have elementary beta, junior beta, and we will have senior beta, which is what we call a parish-wide convention. Some conventions that just happen in a hotel, those are great from a room night standpoint, but really where we can make the most impact is if we have a large convention that fills rooms in the entire parish. And so we're constantly striving to get more of those, what we call the parish-wide convention. So obviously you got to have facilities to be able to do that. We are down to one full-service hotel now. That's a DoubleTree on the Dominion River. And so from a meeting space standpoint, if we're going to have a convention or a large meeting, it's either going to happen at the DoubleTree or it's going to happen at the convention center. So that's an opportunity for growth. I think one of our top priorities is a full-service convention hotel at the Cajun Dome that it would include meeting space. We really miss out on a lot of different conventions that want to be out, that want the majority of their attendees to be under one roof and then branch out to the rest of the city and the parish. And so that's been a priority for some time, and we're hoping to be able to get that project off the ground in the next few years, which will really change and elevate what we do from a convention standpoint. The sports complexes that happened in 2014 in Youngsville and around 2017, 2018 in Broussard, improvements to Pelican Park. Scott has now turfed some of their fields. That has been huge for us. The summertime used to be a really slow time just because of the heat, but when those sports complexes were built, it really changed the game, and we've been fortunate to have a great working relationship with all those entities and trying to help them bring business to town. We provide some bid fees for some big events, whether that be the Pony World Series that happened in July in Youngsville, or the True Talent Football Showcase that happens in Broussard. We brought the state softball championships to Broussard last year. So having those facilities has been a game changer, and really our job now is to how do we turn what would normally be a 75-team tournament into a 150-team tournament using all of those facilities, using Broussard Sports Complex, using Youngsville Sports Complex, using Pelican Park, using Scott Park. And so that's something our team is working on a daily basis. And that youth market is our fastest growing market, and it has really changed the game. And not just here, what you see, like every industry, it's very much a copycat industry. So now that we had those nice facilities built, they've built some across the state, in other parts of the state, to try to replicate what we've been able to do here.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's all I gotta say. It's
That's
like,
a lot, yeah.
wow. Like, number one, I'm going to hit on one point real quick. A hotel and convention area right by the Cajun Dome, the convention center, and that would be huge.
It would.
It would be huge because there's so many things that come in from out of town that I know fill that area. And what you guys do in the work to bring that to life is amazing. And that would be a game changer, I feel, for our area. There'd be more things that would come if you build something like that.
I'm glad you get it. Most people, when you explain it to them, get it. And the very simple analogy is, whenever you go to a convention, there's a really good chance you never have to get back into your car, because your hotel's there, your meeting space is there, the restaurants are there. And so not only that hotel is important, but also the University Commons plan. And I encourage people, if they haven't seen that, it's a wonderful mixed-use development all the way up and down Cajun Dome Boulevard that would help to add that density that we're lacking right now from a convention standpoint. And downtown is very close to that area, so we got to find a way to connect downtown to that area. And then all of a sudden, you have what other cities, major cities, have when they host a convention, is that ability to have people in one area and the density that you get. You know, when you go to a convention, you don't have to drive back to your hotel normally. And we can do some things, and we do some things with shuttles and things that are important. But just that density overall is an important piece from a convention standpoint.
You guys are doing some amazing work.
Yeah, thank you.
Like that to me will be 100% a game changer for our area. We would be able to get these larger events. We'd be able to get a lot more events because it'd all be in one area. And we know, we already talked in the previous one, our food is amazing, so we know we can feed everybody. Yep. But it's just something like that, really, it from the university standpoint, we'll probably be able to have larger games for that. From a convention standpoint, be able to host larger events, larger conventions, utilize both spaces at once for one convention.
I'll just give you one example, and this is not a great example because there's only 6 home football games, but one of our challenges is that, so the university's football team stays at the DoubleTree. The opposing team who's coming in, we don't currently have a hotel big enough for them to have to stay at. So they a lot of times are having to go to Baton Rouge and drive-ins. That's just one of many examples that we're missing out on by not having that other full-service hotel. I always say I would put our food, our music, and culture up against anybody in the world. But we do know we have some infrastructure challenges that we've talked about, and that's the next missing piece for us to reach our fullest potential, is getting some of those projects off the ground.
And a lot of that, it's working, it has to be working together with the city, working together with other government entities within our parish to be able to really get to the point.
And we're fortunate, we have great collaboration with LCG, with LEDA, with One Acadiana, with the university, with all the area mayors. You don't get that kind of collaboration everywhere, and it's nice to see. And what's great is not just a collaboration, but I think a shared vision of people recognizing the importance of not only our cultural economy, but the importance of tourism and the importance of having those new dollars coming into our area. And all of us, because of the work that we do in tourism, pay $1,000 less in taxes. So that's pretty large. And so the more we can bring in new people and new money, that offsets some of the costs that we have to spend in providing services for our area. So that's why tourism is so important. And I feel fortunate to live and work in a place where people understand the importance of it.
Well, Ben, you were doing amazing work here.
Well, thank you, and y'all are too. I really have enjoyed following you guys. I appreciate you having us on and giving us the opportunity to tell our story a little bit.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much for coming and blowing my mind.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for us here over at What's Brewing. If you like what you see here, don't forget to hit that like button. Crush that subscribe button to keep up with everything that's going on, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so whenever this video comes out and others like it, you'll be notified. But until the next one, have a good one.